Hi everybody, it's Brenda with Bubs and Scrubs. I'm going to cut up another soap. But you know, first I wanted to show you my lavender batch. Again, like I said in one of the other videos, I haven't really done the same thing the same way yet. And so this go around with my lavender soap, and I made a pretty big batch of it this time. I used alkanet root powder to add natural color to the soap. And what you do with that, it's a powder, and you let you put it in the oil and you let it sit and let the color kind of saturate it and soak in and get infused, and you use that oil to make your soap, and that's how you get color. I didn't get the color I wanted, but it's not a bad color. I'll show you my my other version of lavender. This is what it looked like. So it has a little oatmeal bottom, it has lavender on the top, the buds are always falling off, and then I have little embeds that I made using another soap I made previously that was infused with alkanet powder, so I got that little kind of, it's like a muted purple color. So that was the last version. I like this one, nothing against it, but you know me, I can't keep things the same. So this next version, I used a lot more alkanet powder and used it for all the oil in the soap, so it wasn't just the embeds anymore. I just used that oil entirely for the soap, and I put a lot of extra lavender on this, so I'm going to have a lot of lavender everywhere. So this one I actually stamped too. I'm not going to be able to stamp all of my soaps because some of them just get harder a lot faster. So, you know, because they kind of harden at different rates, I guess I just have to figure that out over time, like which ones I need to stamp right away, which ones I have a little more time. But this is, you know, I'm showing this really to show you the color and what happened with it. So, it's actually not as bright as it was when I first cut it. When I first cut it, it was kind of blue. Not, it was a purpley blue, but now it's a little more faded purple, like a grayish purple, so I think it'll work out fine. It's still a natural color. It still works with the lavender buds, so it's not totally off. Next go around though, I'm going to use less of that alkanet powder and a higher percentage of oil that's non-diluted, just to lighten this up a little bit because it came out pretty dark, but it smells the same, smells as good as usual. So, and then there's the oatmeal scrubby on the bottom, and lavender buds stuck everywhere. So this will be cleaned up before I sell it. There's always something stuck. So anyway, that's the lavender. I just wanted to show you that batch because I thought that was pretty interesting. And so the next thing I'm going to cut is this Jasmine soap. And this actually feels pretty hard. Sometimes I get worried that if I wait too long to cut my soap, it's going to snap the wire. And I'm sure it's not that hard to fix, but I'd rather not have to fix it. I'd rather just keep everything working just fine and not have to worry about that. So, hopefully I didn't just jinx myself. But these are dried lavender buds on top, which obviously are a nice accent for this soap. And then you can see when I cut it, I could stamp this because you can probably see how it's, looks a little more opaque along the edges. That's just because the edges are more dry, because obviously they're more exposed to air. So this will all look like the edge over time. It just has to dry out. These are only made over the weekend, so they're very fresh. They're not ready to be sold. They're not even close to being ready to be sold. So, but I had a request to do a jasmine soap, so I got the fragrance for it and gave it a try. And it smells nice. It smells great. It'll smell more like it ought to smell after it's had time to dry out and cure a little bit. I didn't add anything to this one, so there's no little seeds or there's no oatmeal. There's nothing exfoliating in here whatsoever. So it's just a smooth soap. It is a floral fragrance though, so these move pretty quickly. So once, when I'm working with these guys, I don't have time to mess around with swirls and colors and this and that. I kind of have to have it, you need to either keep it simple or have it planned out fairly well in advance. To me, this smells a little bit like gardenia, unless my nose just isn't sensitive enough to some of these florals, but it smells a lot like that to me. So we'll see. I think next go around what I may do is create some sort of blend. But I don't think you can go wrong with these. These are good standby scents, and they're great for, you know, making gift packs of different florals together. So, and you know, as I'm going through this process, you just find people just like different stuff. Some people love floral, some people like sweets, some people, and it seems like most people just want something clean and fresh. So it's kind of important to have variety. And then again, there's that whole patchouli category, you know, which is a totally different woodsy kind of scent, and some people really like woodsy. So these are my soaps. I think they came out nice. I didn't put as much of the dried flowers on top of this one. I did go a little crazy on my last rose soap, and this other, it's going to be like an Italian themed soap for this next floral. I think one good thing to do with the soaps that have flower tops, because they are botanicals, and so they're fine like this. There's no problem. They're not going to decompose on the soap or, you know, go rotten or get moldy or anything like that. I do have to tell you though, in the shower or in the bath, you know, once they're in the water, that's when they will start to fall off, obviously, and then, you know, they'll turn brown and be in the bottom of your shower or your tub. So one thing you can do, just to avoid having to pick that stuff up later, is you could just chop off the tops, you know, just thinly, so you're not using up too much of the soap, and then just use it as a sachet. And then, you know, you're saving the scent, you get the little flowers, and, you know, then there's no waste. And despite the fact that I did not grow up during the Depression, I really hate waste. So just thought I would share that, because I think that's a good use for the tops without kind of wasting all the flower petals. So that's Jasmine, and you'll see that in about 2 weeks. Maybe I'll post it sooner. I did add a new section to the website, which is bubsandscrubs.com. But the new section is what's curing. I think that's what it's called. It's in the upper menu navigation. And what I'm going to use that section for is to show a preview of soaps like these. So they may not be ready for me to ship, but they're curing, so they're on their way. Just to give people a more real-time feel for what's available. So thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions or you know, scents you'd like me to make, or a different soap you'd like me to try, send me a comment or a note. You could do it on YouTube. You could do it on my website. The email address I have on my website is, you can either use Brenda@bubsandscrubs.com, or you can use support@bubsandscrubs.com, either one. So just want to put that out there. I'd love to hear from you, and thank you for watching. Take care.